Hi there, I'm Ian Willoughby, and thank you so much for joining me for episode 13 of Czech Next Wave, a podcast produced jointly by the Czech Centres Network and Radio Prague International. Our guest this time is dancer, choreographer and teacher Tereza Ondrová, who is a very cool woman and a leading figure in Czech contemporary dance. Tereza is a frequent collaborator with top Czech and international artists in the dance and other fields, and many of her shows have been very highly acclaimed at both domestic and European level. Enjoy my chat with Tereza Ondrová now in this episode of Czech Next Wave. Well, my first question, Tereza, is how did you first get into dance, and when did you begin to realize that you could have a great talent for it?
Yeah, this is a hard question. But I think I started to dance when I was very young. I think also the way why I started to dance is thanks to my mom, because she was a very big fan of like physical activities in general, and I think it was her like big desire to also be a ballet dancer. But it didn't happen. I don't know exactly why, but I think she also had some like troubles. So I think there was like not in a purpose that she would push me somewhere, but like naturally I started to visit some dance classes from my childhood, and then I realized how much I really need to move, and I started to be like fascinated. But everything just went quite like natural. And I think when I really decided to be on stage and to dance in the professional way just happened when I met one friend, Veronica, and then we started to do some things together. We started with duets, which was also like the easiest way how we can work, because we didn't have money and it was just me and her. So we created in the beginning quite a lot of duets, and from that moment we start to do more and more and more. And then I realized that also for me it's very important to not work alone, but I really need someone to do the things, which is also like funny because now I'm going to be 40, and I just realized that I never made a solo in my life, and I felt like it's important to have a solo also in your CV or in in your like life. But it's funny because it's still not happening. Even if I just apply for the solo, I also ask and invite Silvia Gribaudi, one Italian choreographer, to help me to create this solo. But finally we had a like first presentation public last week, and we were together on stage, so it was again a duet. So this is like fun thing.
Tell us about your education, because I was reading that you studied dance pedagogy at the Faculty of Music at the Academy of Performing Arts here in Prague. Did you also study at a conservatory? That seems to be the usual route into dance.
No, I didn't study conservatory. I just like went through some workshops which were like going on here in mostly Prague or Czech Republic, but sometimes I also like traveling somewhere to meet someone. Yeah, but then I was thinking how to continue with the dance. So then I went to Academy of Performing Arts. I wanted to dance, but there is not this you study just interpretation. So I decided to study the pedagogy, because that I felt like it's somehow close to this, or it was the only reason how to stay with dance. Of course, I could travel somewhere in abroad, but I felt maybe too scary in that time. So that's why. But anyway, I also like to teach, and now I'm also like teaching at the Academy of Performing Arts at the theater department. Yeah, I'm connected with the actors that I'm teaching them how to use their body.
And do you think you missed something by not going to a conservatory, or did you benefit because, for example, I was reading the book by Petra Tejnorová about her sometimes brutal experiences of studying to be a ballet dancer. So I'm curious if you feel you benefited or missed something by not taking that approach.
I think from the beginning, when I started also to dance, there was maybe some instinct that it's good that I'm not there. But I don't know why. Maybe it could be great that I went through this education, but somehow I felt the way how I choose, it's more like easy way. Or I also had a feeling that maybe I met a lot of different people with a lot of different approaches how to move and use the body. So if I maybe just be in the conservatory, maybe I will miss something, but at the same time I can't say if now I'm missing something because I wasn't there.
Do you have a kind of philosophy of dance, a clear concept of what dance should be?
For example, here in Czech Republic, I still feel like there is like dance in general a bit mystery for a lot of people, which I'm super curious why. But I think we as an artist or also the community of dance somehow maybe created that the dance is mystery. So that's why there is a lot of people still afraid of dance. At one moment, I also realized how to find a way to communicate more clear and open, to also invite people that this is not like exclusive art, that it's just for some certain part of the people. So maybe I like to still finding the way how create something that communicate with the people, with the audience, and also how to invite them, that they are not just a passive audience, but they can also be more active to share and to understand. Sometimes I feel like if we don't use the words, that we don't understand. But this is maybe connected to the contemporary art in general, no? That maybe it's still not easy for a lot of people to get in and to approach and to understand. But for me, it's also hard to, when somebody asks me what is a dance, what is a contemporary dance, or what this special piece you made, what is it about? Sometimes I felt also like blocked, because when I started to find the words how to explain and how to share, I felt like I'm speaking about something different. And I felt like you have to really go there and sense it from with your body and with yourself. And then maybe we can speak about it after, because you have some experience. And maybe if we speak after what you saw, it's also easy for both of us.
You co-founded the dance troupe Verte Dance. You won the Dance Production of the Year award from the Czech dance platform 3 times. You also were named Dancer of the Year. When you look back over your career so far, what do you regard as particular turning points or projects that were of special significance?
As I said in the beginning, for me it's very important to be in a creative process with some concrete people. So I think for me it's very important to not have a special topic or theme, but for me this encounter with the people is the most important, that I also feel that they give me or opening something in me, or helping me to grow and to learn. So I would say that for me, when I met Peter Šavel, was like very important moment in my life, I would say. I felt like through the movement we are opening, that it went like opposite way, that we didn't have a topic, but through the movement we are just revealing or finding the important topics which we want to also speak. And I also feel like with him I started to also like open myself and to share who am I, what I'm doing and why I'm doing these things. So I would say it's Peter Šavel. And then I met Petra Tejnorová, and it's very similar with her, that she's not a dancer, she's not a choreographer, she's a theater director, but she's also like to collaborate with dance scene. So we also make a lot of projects together. And finally, we also a few years ago met on stage. And with her, I also felt like it was the second like important moment in my dance career that gives me another perspective of the dance, of the movement, and of the lot of things.
With Peter Šavel, you did a show entitled Boys Who Like to Play with Dolls. That was judged one of the top 10 dance events of the year in Europe. Could you tell us something about that show? I saw some images from it. It looked really super interesting.
Yeah, we were playing that we are the same, but we are man and woman. But how you can recognize man and woman, and we were also playing with these stereotypes of gender. We were also asking us, and through us also like giving the question to people, why you have to always like putting these stereotypes. Yeah, and also in the beginning it was funny because Peter had long hair, I had short hair, and we had also like all these same stories from the life that I was confusing a lot of people that I'm not a woman, and he has the same that he was confusing a lot of people that he's not a man. So I would say that this was like the main topic what we start also from ourselves, but in a general we were also like dealing with this topic that it's really like nice to open it with the people, why we still have this necessity to speak about the people.
And in general, how do you view the Czech Republic when it comes to issues like gender? Because it seems to me there's less of an acceptance of things like gender fluidity here than you might find, for example, in more progressive countries in that regard, like the United States.
Yeah, I think this is also like for me a bit strange that I also felt like the people who had a problem with this topic, they go to see the show and they are okay with it if they see it. But then it's not easy to accept it in the normal life. Then I also realized that the artist scene here in Czech Republic is also like in a bubble, that it's also like hard to open it to normal people, or no, the other people that they are not like artists or very like interested in the art. But I don't know, for me it's a question, because in general how to also like that we don't have this register partnership. And I also know a lot of people that they want to also like have a children.
And in a similar area, do you encounter sexism, Tereza? Contemporary dance seems like a rather progressive area, but still, do you find that there's less respect for women?
Yeah, I would say yes. We also had a lot of like discussion when we worked last week with Silvia Gribaudi, that she's 47 years old. She's a woman artist in dance field. I'm going to be 40 this year, and yeah, we feel that there is still like hard as a women to get the power or to be on the top. A lot of people say that in a dance it's more like if you just compare female and male dancers, choreographers, of course maybe there is a more female, that's why when appears some good man or male so then everybody starts to be like, wow. But I don't feel like there is this like support or giving the also the same conditions for the women.
You do a lot of collaborations, and I'm curious, what is your basis for choosing collaborations, who to work with? What are the attributes that will typically attract you to a project?
I think it's some instinct. For example, to work with Silvia Gribaudi, I felt like there is when I saw her work, I also felt like she liked to work with the humor distance, and also with her body, that it's a body, and it doesn't mean that if you are a dancer, you have to also like have a super nice body. It's just some sympathy with the work and the way how they think about the life in general. And I also sometimes need to feel that there is a potential to get something from the collaboration.
How did the whole COVID situation affect your work? You're talking about all the collaboration you do, you like to work with other people. Did you have to train alone, and how was that?
Yeah, it was interesting for me. I felt like I am isolated and I'm alone, but at the same time, it helps me to be more focused on myself. So it's true, I train a lot. I really take care of myself, and I started also to understand what I need. And so for me, it was a paradoxically good moment to to also training myself more than before.
As you get older, do you treat your body differently? Do you do special things that you wouldn't have done when you were, for example, 30, just to try to maintain your career for as long as possible?
Yeah. For example, I never train myself, so I just were jumping from project to project, traveling, and I felt like I didn't care of my body. So now I feel it. That even if I started from the beginning to be more aware, because I realized, this is the body, this is everything what I need to do the dance. So, but before I didn't realize it, I was like, I can use it for everything.
And how long do you think, Tereza, you can continue dancing at the top level?
I don't know. I would like to, because a lot of people also say that 40 it's the last moment to reach the career, and then you have to go to retire. But I feel super powerful now in this moment, so I think I would love to continue. It depends on a lot of things.
And isn't it easier in the contemporary dance world than, for example, if you were in ballet? That would be almost impossible, right?
Maybe it's harder for the body, but I don't know. I don't have any friends from ballet, so maybe it could be the same. But of course, maybe if you are also, because I work in a different, I'm not in a theater to be there every day, so I think this is also like a different way how you can work with your body, because then you go really every day with some special training. In the evening you have every day maybe the show, so I think it could be super hard. Maybe it's not only that your body starts to be old, but you are in general maybe very exhausted from this program of your life. So for me it's also easy that I know that maybe this month it's very busy, but then I know that I can take 2 months free to do something else and also to refresh my head and the body. So this could be different, I would say.
Many thanks indeed to Tereza Ondrová, one of the top names in Czech contemporary dance, who was kind enough to speak to me for episode 13 of Czech Next Wave. This is a podcast produced by the Czech Centres Network and Radio Prague International that aims to introduce people around the globe to some of the very best of young Czech talent. Our theme music was composed by somebody who falls squarely into that category, the great organ player Ondřej Pivec. If you've enjoyed this edition of Czech Next Wave, why not check out some of our earlier editions and of course sign up on Spotify, Google Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. But that's all for now from me, Ian Willoughby. Thanks a million for listening and speak to you again very soon.